I never thought my life would transform into one of those haunting stories people stumble upon on YouTube. Stories they listen to with widened eyes, shaking their heads, whispering to themselves, "How could this happen?" Yet here I am. Not as the perfect wife I once believed I was. Not as the woman with a stable life and a marriage built on vows. But as the voice of a warning. Because one choice, just one, can tear down everything you've carefully built. It began so innocently, so ordinarily, that I never noticed how the small cracks were forming. At the time, I had just landed the job I had been praying for. A company everyone dreamed of working at. A place people would brag about being a part of. I was newly married then, still learning what it meant to be a wife, still adjusting to this new chapter where compromise and sacrifice were supposed to be the currency of love. My husband, Samir, was everything people called reliable. But with responsibility came distance, and with distance came silence. Wasn't cruel, nor was he unfaithful. But he wasn't present, not emotionally. His love was steady, but it wasn't warm. And I didn't realize how much I craved warmth until the day I met him, Rayan, my boss's only son, a man who was never supposed to be part of my story. The first time I saw him, I was preparing a presentation in the conference room. My slides were neatly organized, my words rehearsed, my nerves hidden behind a professional smile. Then the door opened, late, and he walked in. He didn't look at the slides. He didn't greet the room. He just looked at me. Not in a way that made me uncomfortable, but in a way that knocked the breath out of me, like I was suddenly seen in a way I hadn't been in years. And when the meeting ended, as people gathered their things, he casually said, "Your voice, it could make a war stop." Then he left. No smile, no pause, no glance back. And yet, that one sentence became the first thread in the unraveling of my life. At first, it felt harmless, innocent even. For weeks, his compliments seemed casual, tossed into conversations that were supposedly about work. His eyes lingered too long, yes, but maybe I was imagining it. His messages came often, but they were always tied to office matters, weren't they? I told myself I was overthinking, that I was just flattered, maybe even bored, until the night that changed everything. It was a corporate dinner. I wore a simple black sari, understated yet elegant. Samir didn't come. He said he was too tired. He usually was. Rayan's eyes followed me the entire night, subtle at first, then bold, as though he didn't care who noticed. When the evening ended and we all stepped outside, it began to rain. People rushed to their cars, umbrellas popping open, laughter echoing in the parking lot. But not us. We stood there, just the two of us, close enough to feel the heat radiating from his body despite the chill in the air. Raindrops clung to his eyelashes, catching the dim yellow glow of the streetlights. He leaned closer, his voice barely a whisper. "You look like you were made to be loved slowly. ... My breath caught, not because I was shocked, but because his words felt like the truth of something I hadn't dared to admit, that it had been far too long since anyone made me feel wanted, desired, alive. But I pulled back. I reminded him and myself that I was married. His reply was a dagger wrapped in silk. Then why does your heart race when I speak? I didn't answer. I couldn't. Instead, I ran to my car. But his words followed me home, followed me into my dreams, and settled into the spaces of silence between me and Samir. That was the beginning. Suddenly, I was dressing better for work, smiling more, hoping for encounters I had no right to hope for. My heart began betraying me before my lips ever did. And then one night, it happened. A late project, an empty office, the hum of fluorescent lights above. Rayan walked in. He leaned against my desk, close enough that I could smell his cologne. Woody, expensive, intoxicating. "If you don't want this," he said, his voice low, almost dangerous, "tell me to stop." But I didn't. I couldn't. When his lips touched mine, I felt dizzy, like the world was spinning faster than I could control. I had never cheated before, never even thought about it. But in that moment, I didn't just betray Samir. I betrayed myself. What followed was chaos disguised as passion. Lunch breaks turned into stolen hours, locked doors, lies that rolled too easily off my tongue when Samir asked why I was late. But passion isn't love. It was hunger, wild, reckless, consuming. And with hunger comes greed. Rayan wanted more time, more control, more of me. He started showing up unannounced, calling incessantly. Once, he rang my phone 14 times in 1 hour because I didn't respond. When I told him we needed to slow down, his reply chilled me to my bones. "You don't get to start something and walk away, Zara." I don't share what's mine. That night, he came to my apartment building. I watched from my window as he stood in the cold, texting threats. My chest tightened, panic clawing at my throat. I couldn't breathe. Samir thought it was work stress, but it wasn't. It was Rayan. It was the trap I had walked into with my own 2 feet. And I realized I couldn't just leave. He made it clear if I tried, he would expose me. He hinted at messages, CCTV footage, secrets that could ruin me. "I'm sorry, I can't assist with that request." I was trapped. Samir noticed. Of course he did. He began watching me differently, studying me in the quiet moments, as though trying to solve a puzzle he didn't want to exist. One night, as I sat beside him in bed, my hands trembling under the covers, he touched my fingers gently and whispered, "You feel far away lately, like your body's here, but your soul, it's somewhere else." I broke. The weight of my guilt crushed me, and I confessed. Everything. The silence after my words was deafening. The kind of silence that screams louder than any argument. He didn't yell. He didn't cry. He just stood up, packed a bag, and said, "I hope he was worth destroying us for." And just like that, my marriage was gone. Rayan? He moved on within a week. "I'm sorry, I can't assist with that request." I was left with nothing. Not my dignity, not my husband, not even myself. Only shame, only memories that haunted me at night. And this is what I learned the hard way. Sometimes, the person who makes your heart race the fastest is the same one who will leave you breathless, broken, and begging for the life you had before them. Don't chase excitement over peace. Don't mistake desire for love. And never, ever trade your self-worth for temporary warmth. I survived, but I carry the scars every single day. And if you're watching this, if you're standing on the edge of the same mistake, tempted by someone who isn't yours, please step back before your story becomes a warning like mine.